Hello, aspiring hunters. Welcome to the Hunter Experience. Ging is one of the most enigmatic and fascinating characters in Hunter x Hunter. Since his first mention, he is portrayed as an almost legendary figure, someone whose strength and abilities are frequently talked about but rarely demonstrated. The question that arises is Ging truly the strongest in Hunter x Hunter? I believe the answer lies not only in his combat abilities, but also in his brilliant mind, his adaptability, and his deep understanding of the world around him. To explore this idea, we must analyze the moments when Ging appears or is mentioned, as well as the clues the series provides about his true nature. If you're prepared for the incredible Hunter journey, click like and subscribe to the channel to join our troop. Don't forget to comment on who your favorite character is in Hunter x Hunter. Now, let's continue with this incredible story. From the start of the series, Ging is described as one of the most talented and respected hunters of his generation. He achieved the title of Hunter with impressive ease and quickly became known for his discoveries and explorations. However, what really stands out is the way other characters speak of him. Netero, for example, mentions him as someone who could have been one of the candidates to face him in a serious fight. I think this already indicates that Ging is not only strong, but also someone whose abilities are recognized by those at the top of the Hunter world. In the election arc, we finally get the chance to see Ging in action, and he doesn't disappoint. His Nen ability, which involves creating complex spaces and environments, is something beyond the conventional. He not only demonstrates impressive control over his Nen, but also a creativity, an ability to improvise that are rare. I believe that this combination of technical and mental skills is what truly defines Ging as one of the strongest. He doesn't rely solely on brute strength or powerful techniques. He uses his intelligence and his understanding of Nen in ways that few other characters can. Another point that makes me believe in Ging's strength is his relationship with the world around him. He is someone who seems to deeply understand the rules and mechanisms of the Hunter x Hunter world, and this is reflected in his actions. For example, during the election arc, he manages to manipulate situations in a way that everything falls perfectly into place for his plans. I believe this ability to foresee and influence the events around him is a form of strength that goes beyond direct combat. Who knows if this is the real reason why he is considered so powerful? Moreover, there is the matter of his influence on other characters. Gon, his son, is a clear example of how Ging's strength can manifest indirectly. Gon's determination and skill are, for the most part, the result of his search for Ging and his desire to become someone as strong as him. I believe this shows that Ging's strength is not only in his own abilities, but also in the way he inspires and influences others. Perhaps this is one of the reasons he is considered the strongest, not just because of what he can do, but also because of the impact he has on the world around him. In summary, Ging's true strength can be seen as a combination of technical abilities, intelligence, and influence. He is not just a powerful fighter, but also someone who understands and manipulates the world of Hunter x Hunter in ways that few others can. I believe this combination of factors is what makes him one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the series. However, until we see more of his abilities in action, this idea will continue to be a point of debate and speculation. The question of where Ging fits into the Hunter x Hunter strength hierarchy is something that has always sparked discussions among fans. Is he truly the strongest, or are there other characters who could surpass him? I believe the answer is not simple, as it involves a detailed analysis of Ging's abilities and characteristics, as well as a comparison with other powerful characters in the series. One of the points that makes me believe Ging is at the top is his understanding and manipulation of Nen. During the election arc, we see him creating complex spaces and environments with impressive ease. This ability not only demonstrates his control over Nen, but also his creativity and ability to improvise. I believe this puts Ging on a higher level than many other characters, who rely more on brute strength or specific techniques. His ability to adapt his skills to different situations is something few can match. Another important point is the way other characters speak about Ging. Netero, for example, mentions him as someone who could have been one of the candidates to face him in a serious fight. I think this already indicates that Ging is among the strongest, as Netero is widely recognized as one of the most powerful hunters of all time. Moreover, the admiration and respect that other hunters have for Ging suggests that he is seen as someone whose abilities are exceptional. However, there are other characters who are also considered extremely strong, such as Meruem, Chrollo, and Hisoka. The comparison between Ging and these characters is something that always generates debate. I believe that in terms of brute strength and direct combat abilities, Meruem may be considered superior. However, Ging's strength goes beyond physical combat. His intelligence, his planning abilities, and his understanding of Nen are factors that can compensate for any disadvantage in terms of brute strength. Who knows if in a situation where direct combat is not the only option, Ging could even surpass Meruem. Another interesting point is Ging's relationship with the world around him. He is someone who seems to deeply understand the rules and mechanisms of the Hunter x Hunter world, and this is reflected in his actions. For example, during the election arc, he managed manages to manipulate situations in a way that everything falls perfectly into place for his plans. I believe this ability to foresee and influence the events around him is a form of strength that goes beyond direct combat. Perhaps this is the real reason why he is considered so powerful. Moreover, there is the matter of his influence on other characters. Gon, his son, is a clear example of how Ging's strength can manifest indirectly. Gon's determination and skill are, for the most part, the result of his search for Ging and his desire to become someone as strong as him. I believe this shows that Ging's strength is not only in his own abilities, but also in the way he inspires and influences others. Perhaps this is one of the reasons he is considered the strongest, not just because of what he can do, but also because of the impact he has on the world around him. However, Ging's true strength lies in his mind and the way he uses his intelligence. In many works of fiction, strength is often measured by physical power or combat skills, but Hunter x Hunter challenges this concept by showing that intelligence, cunning, and knowledge of the world around you can be just as important as any combat technique. Ging is undoubtedly one of the smartest characters in the series. His ability to analyze situations and find solutions that others wouldn't even think of is one of his greatest assets. During the election arc, we see how Ging skillfully manipulates the political game and the interactions between the other hunters. He is a figure who is always one step ahead of his opponents, using his deep knowledge of people and events to achieve his goals. This is not a common skill in Hunter x Hunter. Many powerful characters, such as Hisoka or Meruem, may be invincible in direct combat, but they don't have the same mastery over the circumstances around them. Ging, on the other hand, is a master of subtle manipulation, something he repeatedly demonstrated. This type of strategic skill places Ging on a higher level compared to other characters who rely solely on strength. He possesses a deep understanding of the rules that govern the world of Hunter x Hunter, whether it's related to Nen, the Hunter system, or even the politics of the different kingdoms and factions. This allows him to control, in many cases, the scenario even before entering into a direct confrontation. Meruem, the king of the Chimera Ants, is probably one of the most powerful characters in Hunter x Hunter, especially in terms of physical strength and combat skills. His evolution was quick and impressive, and his intelligence combined with his raw power made him a nearly unbeatable threat. However, despite all his strength, Meruem failed in some important areas, such as understanding the emotional and psychological complexities that humans and other beings possess. His arrogance and lack of social experience made him vulnerable to certain external influences, something Ging, with his manipulation ability, could exploit. Ging, on the other hand, does not rely on physical strength to be considered a threat. He has exceptional control over his Nen and can use his abilities creatively. His main advantage is his mind and his ability to plan and anticipate his opponent's moves. While Meruem was incredibly powerful, Ging's intelligence could be a decisive factor if they faced off, especially if the battle was more psychological than physical. Krullo Lucifer, the leader of the Phantom Troop, is also a character whose abilities are highly respected. His Nen is a complex blend of versatility and creativity, and his ability to adapt his skills to different situations is one of the main reasons he is so dangerous. However, Ging has a similar advantage: his improvisation and adaptation skills. The main difference between them is that while Krullo relies on his acquired abilities from others, Ging has a deep understanding of Nen and an intuitive grasp of its possibilities. He may not have a skill as directly destructive as Krullo's skill hunter, but his depth of knowledge and creativity could give him a strategic advantage in a confrontation. Hisoka, on the other hand, is a character who has always stood out for his fighting ability and psychological manipulation. He is unpredictable and always a threat, mainly because of his eccentric nature and his control of Nen. His ability to create situations where he becomes stronger as the battle progresses is a key factor, but still, he does not have the ability to manipulate and plan with the same complexity as Ging. Hisoka is an excellent fighter, but he lacks the strategic depth and control over the environment that Ging possesses. Therefore, if it were a confrontation between them, Ging would likely use his cunning to turn the battlefield into something advantageous for himself. But what do you think? Do you agree with me? Hunters, that was our video for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed our video, subscribe to the channel as it is still very new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then.